Oh my god, this year is just bad for big Tamil films. Is the film bad or is just the expectations from a Loki film that drowned it? But one thing is certain, Tamil cinema's pan-India curse continues. Let's talk about it. Hello guys, I'm Nona Prince and today we are talking about the much anticipated film Coolie, written and directed by Lokesh Kanagaraj with the superstar Rajinikanth. This meme is quite apt for the day before watching Coolie and the day after. Just baat badal gaye, halat badal gaye. Like there was so much hype behind this film. Every frame was being analyzed. There were n number of theories. There was so much put onto the film, maybe that left people disappointed. And all that buzz is affecting the film. But I don't think so. There's definitely a baggage of it being a Lokesh Kanagaraj film. There are expectations. I think we all were expecting a Loki film, but it's actually not that. This is actually a Rajinikanth film. It is a film that is celebrating 50 years of him. That's the high it wants to give. That's its aim. That's its goal. That's what Loki wanted to do. It wanted to show why Rajinikanth is still relevant after 50 years. And that guy still carries that charm. It is, at the end of the day, a fanfare. But the expectation from this film were that we will see the Lokesh magic. That yet again, he will take a big star like Rajinikanth and blend that into his film. The way he did with Vikram. Which again celebrates Kamal Haasan, but there the star is in the service of the film. But with Coolie, the film is in service of the star. Now the problem arises when to achieve all this, Lokesh Kanagaraj lets go of his finesse of storytelling. If you look at the screenplay, it's very defocused. It's just cluttered with various characters. It's full of random plot points. And it's not that all of it is bad, not at all. They all are very cool ideas, but they never tie together. They never blend. Like there is a Argentina-like moment in this film, and it really surprises you. But there was a reason it worked in Vikram. It blended really well. It was brief, but that's not the case with Coolie. This film has a huge setup. There's a wide plot laid down. There are multiple characters with their own storylines, and all of this is just so that you can make Rajinikanth's character shine. And that really feels like a colossal waste. Like you could have done the same thing much easier way. Why just complicate the whole process so much? And that's where the parallels to Jailer come in. At a lot of points I felt like Coolie is inspired from Jailer. The way it brings other stars into the film. The way it wants to build an emotional angle. But the reason I feel Jailer did it better because it was focused. The whole point of the film was Rajinikanth. It's all about him, to elevate him. That's it. And with Coolie, Loki tries to do too many things which were not needed. If the aim was just to celebrate Rajinikanth. Like in all the movies, as we go to the climax, you start to tie all the loose ends. Everything comes to a conclusion. But in this film, through that way, in the second half, big plot points are being dropped out of nowhere. And it just feels so random. And I can see through the illusion. I can see the mechanics of what is Loki doing here. He wants to set up an emotional angle. He wants to create that drama. But that has to be done at the start of the film, in the setup. Not so late in the story where it will never work. A big red flag for a flawed screenplay is when we have characters explaining what's going on in the film, and that too multiple times. There are so many exposition dumps in the film because there's just too much going on and you need to explain all of it to the audiences. And to do that, there are characters explaining everything at every point of the film. Like there's a backstory for every character which is being told to us. And I felt like all these big actors who are casted in the film, they are wasted. And it felt like because you had casted big stars, you had to give them a lot of importance, which was going against what the story should have been. Coming back to the Jailer comparison, in that film, I was not the fan of the whole comedy and humor bit, especially in the second half. I felt just dragged the film and there are a lot of Tamil tropes of, casting comedic actors to do stupid stuff to make you laugh. Whereas in Coolie, I feel Loki didn't do any of it. He kept it fresh. At no point I felt like, oh, I've seen this before or this has been done to death. It was unique, especially the interval. At that point, I was so confused. I had no idea where the story is going. It is getting very complicated what's going on, and that unpredictability is good, but it's also bad because when you're watching films, right, in your mind you are structuring, you're planning and plotting where the story would go. But here I had no idea where we are going because the film doesn't lay out the story that well, and the way it goes in the second half, you never feel anything. One after the other, things are just happening. Now the film is shot really well. It helped that they went to a real harbor and shot most of it there. It adds to the immersion. There's not a lot of VFX work, but there is a lot of scale in the film. We go to a lot of different places. There are a lot of set pieces. There's a whole sequence on the railway station and train, and all of it is really well done. I would say technically maybe Loki's best to date. And it makes sense as he gets more experience, more budget, more technology to work with. His technical prowess is getting better. Now the action in the film, nothing really stood out. Like I am trying to recollect right now and nothing comes to my mind. Anirudh's music also, hearing it is good and all, but in the movie at no point I felt pumped. And I don't think that's the issue with the music. I think because the story never makes you feel invested enough, the music cannot really enhance it. They have this whole sci-fi element to it. It's not time travel, by the way. And the way that's handled felt more like a gimmick. And with all the big stars in the film and the cameos, Rajinikanth definitely delivered. It was his film throughout. I felt Soubin and Nagarjuna did okayish. Nothing too special which I've never seen before. Shruti Haasan was good at the start, but then she just turned into a damsel in distress throughout the film. Upendra and Aamir I would just consider as cameos. And actually the way the film, shoots them, the way you reveal them on screen, it felt like they were supposed to be hidden, as if the audience don't know they are in the film. That's how they reveal those actors. And I can't even imagine how the theaters would erupt when we would not know they are in the film and they come on screen. I loved Upendra's intro scene, that was amazing. And Aamir Khan, the time they take to show us who it is, it was definitely meant to be a big surprise, which was ruined. I'm sure it would have taken people 3-4 seconds to realize it's Aamir Khan. Like Aamir lied that Sathyaraj and Rachita will not come to OTT. Why couldn't he lie that he's not in the film? Like, I don't get it. It would have made the film to have better experience. But the problem still remains. His cameo was pointless. His character didn't make any sense. I feel Loki tried to recreate the Rolex magic and it just didn't work. Because story-wise, it doesn't make much sense. You don't understand where the character lies. The ending of the film is so weird. Like, it felt like they didn't know how to end the film. Are they heroes? Are they villains? What's going on? What's the drama between them? I don't know what was going on. See, as a Rajinikanth celebration film for the fans, it's actually really good. It gives you a lot of moments to cheer. It's fun. It's much more grounded. The star power is guided by the narrative in a sense. And there's plenty to enjoy. But as a film, especially as a Lokesh Kanagaraj film, it's very average, one-time watch, and one of his weakest. I recently saw Managram and liked it a lot. And I'll be making a video ranking all of Loki's films, so do subscribe to get that. And also for a spoiler-filled talk where we break down the film. Now after this film also, the pan-India dream of Tamil cinema continues, because yet again I feel they have failed to deliver. And why is that? What's the problem? Check out this video if you haven't. The problem with Tamil cinema in pan-India. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let's talk, and I will see you next time.